Police say she refuses to talk to them, but the mother of the missing girl, Caylee Anthony, did have something to say as she left jail this morning. She's innocent. Casey Anthony's daughter, Kaylee's been missing since June, and Casey never called the police. This morning, she walked free after spending the last month or so behind bars, and her lawyer says as they left, Casey whispered to him, "I'm innocent. I'm going to walk out of this place with my head held high." Hard to tell if her head was high or not as reporters swarmed her.
What happened, Casey? What can you tell us, Casey? Get away! Get away!
Any comment, Casey?
Casey, what happened? I got you. Casey, what happened? Casey, what can you tell us? What can you tell us, Casey?
Nothing right now.
Casey, what happened?
No response, but either way, even though Casey is back at her parents' place, she is far from off the hook because she has to wear an electronic ankle bracelet.
She's instructed to plug in the monitoring device, which is about the size of an answering machine. It plugs into the wall, plugs into the phone jack, and then she's to wait 20 minutes, and at that point she calls our home confinement officer, and we verify that the equipment is working correctly.
And as far as we know, that's exactly what she did as she arrived home just hours ago. Holly Bristow has been covering this story for us and for our station there in Orlando, WOFL, My Fox Orlando. She's live at the grandparents' house now. Holly, what do we expect now that Casey's home, if anything?
Well, at this point, we're expecting Casey to stay put. You mentioned a moment ago that home confinement monitoring device. It is, in fact, working right now. It's strapped to her ankle. If she needs to go anywhere, to church, to her lawyer's office, she's going to need to pick up the phone, call her home confinement officer, get permission to leave the house. Now, along with that, there is a member of the bounty hunter's office, a female staying inside the house. She's going to be watching Casey's every move. And back here, out here live in this RV behind me are a bounty hunter and two private detectives. They're here to make sure that Casey doesn't go anywhere. They're also here to protect her, so she's really not going anywhere. Shepard?
The family said releasing the mom would help in the search for the daughter, Caylee. How so?
Well, they feel that she's going to open up and talk to them a little bit and at least give them some clues as to who may have Casey. Obviously, Casey didn't feel comfortable talking to them. Every conversation in jail between she and her family was recorded with the potential that it could be released to the media. The other thing that Jose Baez mentioned today, he said he didn't feel completely comfortable talking with Casey while she was behind bars. He told her to be guarded. Although there is the attorney-client privilege, he says he wasn't 100% convinced that nobody was listening in on their conversations.
Holly Bristow from our station, My Fox Orlando. Holly, good of you. Thank you, as always. Greta Van Sustren's following every deal of this, every step of this case from the start. She's with us now for a look at the legal side of it all. What does it mean, practically speaking, that she's out, if anything?
It means that she doesn't have to spend the night tonight having a terrible dinner and sitting in a jail. She's going to be able to have a remote control, run her own TV, pet her two cats, pet the two dogs, talk to her parents, make phone calls. So it's a lot better than being in jail, but she's not going much further than the front door of her house.
You know, the bail bondsmen were saying, well, if she gets out, we're hoping to talk to her, hoping she'll tell us more because she hasn't told the police anything. None of that, though, right?
No.
I mean, what lawyer would advise you that you could do such a thing? But I guess
an insane one.
Yeah.
An insane one at this point.
The truth is, though, Greta, the police have said the key to all of this is information from Casey. And it just goes against all reason that a mom whose child is missing wouldn't try to help the police. It just, you know.
You're absolutely right, Shep, but the police have one other possible weapon in their arsenal, and that's the forensic test results that haven't come back yet from the inside of that car. Because if the forensic test results come back and they are very damning, what they will then do is they will confront her lawyer, and her lawyer will go to her and say, this is what we have, and they will at that point have to make some decisions. Now, it may turn out that the forensic test results come back are inconclusive, or they may in some way exonerate her, but if they are damning, that may change the equation very quickly.
I'm sure it will. We'll be watching for an update tonight on The Record with Greta. That's 10 Eastern and again at 10 Pacific. When you got to know the news, you got to go to Greta, and she will have the latest, including more on what Casey Anthony's release could mean for this investigation. That's tonight on FNC.